Where are we?
We've been in Nusa Penida for 8 days. So we spent the last 8 days here in Nusa Penida, and I'm confident that we can tell you guys everything that you need to do while here on this island, how to get here, important tips, where to eat, and most importantly, where to catch that beautiful Bali sunset. Let's kick things off with how to get here. We're going to Nusa Penida.
Oh, I thought I saw a fish in the water. This is the cheapest boat you can get. This is why, but it's really not that bad.
How much is it?
It's 350,000 round trip, which is, how much is that? Roughly like something, I'll tell you.
All right, but Nusa Penida, here we come.
There's really only one major way to get here in Nusa Penida, and that's to take a ferry boat from the main island of Bali over to Nusa Penida. You can pay a wide range depending on how luxurious you want your ferry boat to be, but the cheapest option would be to take a round trip from Sanur port over to Nusa Penida, and you can pay 350,000 Indonesian rupiah for this boat, but others will charge as much as 450 plus for a one-way trip, and that's for a little bit more comfortable of a ride, but if you're in for the budget, we totally recommend 350 one way. The last ferry leaves from Sanur port around 1 p.m. So if your flight comes in late and you're planning on going directly to Nusa Penida, you'll probably want to stay one night in the main island of Bali before being able to take the ferry over the next morning. So keep that in mind when you're booking your hotels, if you're booking them ahead of time.
Yeah. Before we jump into where to stay and what to do here on this island, a couple things that I would recommend to you guys before coming here is make sure that you have enough cash for your time on this island. Alright, so
We got money!
one of the things I will say about coming to Nusa Penida is all of the ATMs don't work. So if you come here, make sure that you take out enough money for your time here and don't rely on the ATMs here, because we tried 3 and 3 didn't work. The last one did and let me take out $1 million, which is enough for a couple days hopefully. But just make sure that you're prepared for that and bring as much money, as much cash as you can when coming to Nusa Penida. Another huge tip that I have for you guys is there are 2 ways of getting around this island, and one of them is by doing day trips. So you can do a whole tour around the island with vans or taking taxis to wherever you want to get to, or you can rent a scooter.
What the? Oh my god.
Catch it on the other side. There's a lot of bikers though, this is really dangerous. Oh, this truck is coming in hot.
Oh my god, people are not staying in their lane today.
We rented a scooter and drove throughout the island, and I want to tell you guys that it is not like the safest option. It's pretty dangerous and a lot of the roads here are broken. Granted, we did get used to it and we ended up loving this because we were able to go places on our own time and our own way. We didn't have any restrictions at all whatsoever, but it is very, very, very dangerous and a lot to get used to. So if you're not comfortable on a bike, I would recommend maybe going the taxi route or the day trip route.
Yes.
The scooter, in terms of scooter rental, when you get to the island, it is 70,000 rupiah. That's the standard price per day. We got ours for 55,000 rupiah per day, but that's because we were staying here for 8 days. You can definitely negotiate it down to whatever price you want. I would recommend trying to get it lower than 70,000. Anywhere below that is a good price.
The last thing I'll say about the roads though is that they are really, really broken. And so whether you're there by yourself or you're there as a couple, it's gonna hurt your bum and it's gonna be very annoying if you're spending a lot of days here, but it is totally worth it because you see so many things. It's just like, be forewarned, it might not be the best option for you if you're not as adventurous on a bike. For where to stay, we're gonna 100% recommend where we stayed. We're not being paid at all to do that, but we loved where we stayed. It's called Sunny Point Penida.
Hey friends and family, this is our room. It's pretty cool. That's Ruthie, that's our stuff. That's our bathroom. Hey, okay, cool, bye. And we're staying in a really, really nice spot. Are we locked in?
Oh yeah, I locked it, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Here's what it looks like. It's cool. Here's what it looks like. It's really cool outside. You can see the beach from there, and I'll show it to you when we're not locked in. Let's go to the beach bar.
It's owned by a man and his wife, and they have 3 or 4 beautiful rooms. It's $17 a night, and we just love them so much. It's really cozy, really close to the harbor, and really easy to get anywhere on the island from that spot. So we recommend it, but there's so many hostels and hotels all over the island, you will not have any trouble finding a place to book, even last minute.
Yeah, we recommend definitely staying near the harbor, because being near the harbor, you can go any which way to get to where you need to go to, and there's a lot of restaurants and places to eat at and places to go out to at night. So it's more convenient to stay here with in terms of like ease of getting to places and having more options for gas, food, bars, you name it.
Yeah. The harbor is in the northwest part of the island, so if you're wondering where you want to look on a map, that's what you'll look at. The northwest area is the best place to get your accommodation.
Let's jump right into what to do here. We did a lot over the course of the 8 days, so I'm gonna kick things off with my favorite place that we went to, and most likely Ruthie's favorite too. We talked about this a little bit. Our favorite beach here was Suwehan. I think that's how you pronounce it, but this beach is really hard to get to because the roads are extremely broken. It's all the way on the east side of the island. Nobody goes there, like literally, when I say nobody, we were the only 2 people on the beach one time. The other time there was 5 other people in the course of 3 hours that showed up onto the beach. It is so secluded, some of the clearest water you will ever see in your life, and it's an adventure to get down there. It's not for the faint of heart, because you have to hike down. There's not much to hold on to when you are hiking down, and it's like pretty much on a cliff, but it is so worth the climb when you make it down to the bottom on that really beautiful yellow crisp sand, and you dip your toes into that beautiful blue water. You won't regret it. I promise you, it is a sanctuary on this island. The road is
Oh my god.
to go to the beach. Oh my god. Alright, I think we're good for a little while. But that's back there is what the roads look like for the past like kilometer. It's been sketchy.
Oh my god, it's super downhill right here. Oh! Oh my god. Wow. We made it. Welcome to Suwehan Beach. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bikes, including ours. Oh, someone's feeling very American. That was a really rough drive, but we made it because Hammer's incredible. And now all we have to do is worry about the drive back up. This is the trail. That's the beach all the way down there. And we'll see if they fixed up the trail since the earthquake. The earthquake is about 2 years ago, or actually just a year and a half ago, or a year ago. Also, you know how, like, wow. That's crazy. Like, the sand is really as incredibly fine and wonderful and bright as it looks like in the photos, and the water is so incredibly blue. The beaches are so empty. No filter, this place is awesome.
So the water, it's so rough. Like, there's so many rocks in there, and the waves will just beat you up. If you're prepared for it, just do it, because it is fun, and I loved it.
we're going up all these steps so that they make you work out so that you don't get fat in Bali.
So you don't get fat in Bali, you said?
Yeah. All right, I'm turning this off. Bye.
Jumping right into our next favorite, Killing King. This is the main reason why people come to Nusa Penida. It's the place which looks like a T-Rex. A lot of people go here. They love it. You'll see it in all of the Instagram photos. Being that it's the most popular, it's going to be the most packed.
We just made it to the T-Rex beach and I almost got tackled by a monkey and died. Remember that? So usually these stairs are packed with people, but because we came early in the morning, there's nobody here.
Still later than Hammer wanted.
Ruthie, how's your climb going? Stairs are really steep. Honestly, I don't know if I'd want to come here later in the day because like this is only room for like one person and there's like hundreds of people here later in the day. So climbing up and down is probably so nerve-wracking. This is just like a straight decline. Holy crap, not for the faint of heart.
Getting there early. Like I said before, the biggest reason is because you get to miss the crowds, but also because I don't think it's really safe to be climbing down in that tight quarters. And as people are also climbing up, it gets really, really tight with a lot of people there. So all the tourists get there around 9 a.m. It's super packed from 9 a.m. onwards. So try to get there as early as you possibly can, but it is so beautiful. You also have to hike down to get to the bottom. It is a pretty dangerous hike to get to the beach, but it is definitely worth it. Some of the biggest waves we've ever seen. We also saw baby manta rays playing around there.
Baby manta rays and their mommy.
Yeah.
And you can see them actually from the top. You can see their shadows underneath the water. That was incredible. Asa Beach is all the way over on the east side of the island. It's pretty close to Suwehan Beach. It's more popular and it's famous for having this beautiful arch that's been carved out by the ocean over tens of thousands and maybe millions of years. It looks incredible and it can look completely different depending on what time you go there because it is a tidal beach. So on high tide, you'll be able to be up close in the water, like right at your feet at the sand. But in low tide, which is when we were there, you'll have to walk out on the rocks super far before you get into the water and the corals.
So beautiful. The only thing that I would recommend to you guys is just be careful when it's low tide because you can get cut up by the corals when you're swimming there. I actually got a pretty gnarly cut right here from the corals when we were there, so just be careful, but it is so beautiful and definitely worth the hike to get there. Jumping right into another one of our favorite places, Tembeling. Tembeling is so cool. It is like these natural pools in the middle of the woods. Getting down here is a bit hard because you can either hike down or you could take a scooter down for like 50,000 round trip. But once you're here, it's so worth it because there's nobody in the pools. You can cliff jump and it's some of the freshest water I've ever seen. Yes.
One person cliff jumps, not everybody's gonna go do it. Yeah. Because it looks awesome. Okay, so overall the beach was awesome, but now we gotta walk up 300 steps. Bye guys.
Nusa Penida is a great example of how quickly tourism can change in an area, because we read some blogs that were only posted last year that said that Tumbling was super local, very few tourists go there, but by the time we went, it was only tourists that went there. There wasn't that many, there was maybe like 4 or 5 other couples, but it's just an example of how much things can change. One of the other beaches that we went to, which wasn't our favorite but is super popular, is Crystal Bay, and we actually went there 2 times. We went there once for the beach and once to see some once to do some snorkeling. And as a beach, it is incredibly beautiful and it's really easy to get to, which is one of the main reasons it's also one of the most popular beaches in Nusa Penida. There's a lot of food stands that are all around, so you can get your food and just like watch the beautiful view from the beach. It's incredible. The sand is really nice, the water's really nice. Sometimes the tide is really high, so you want to be careful, as always with a lot of the beaches here.
This is actually amazing. Like, there's not that many people on the beach. And this area right here, there's nobody sitting on, and you could just see the sunset directly in front of you. I see why they say this is the best place to catch sunset.
We went at sunset, and one of our secrets for Crystal Bay is not to watch sunset from the sand alone, but when you're facing the water and you look to your left, there's a cliff and a rock formation, and you can climb up onto it very, very easily, walk around, and then you can see the sunset in privacy on a little cliff. And it's really, really nice because Crystal Bay is full of people, yet that one spot nobody goes to.
Over here in Nusa Penida, you could either snorkel with manta rays or scuba dive with manta rays. Scuba diving with manta rays here is quite expensive. It's about 1.2 million rupiah if you're certified, 1.4 to 1.5 million if you're not certified. So that's about $70 to $80. That's about this many dollars. It's a lot, so we decided not to scuba dive and rather snorkel. Snorkeling ended up costing us 200,000 rupiah, so you get to go to 4 different spots. It is so cool. We actually saw 1 manta ray, and there were a lot more that we could have seen, but we just decided to swim around with the fish, check out the corals. But rather than talking about it a ton, how about you just check out some footage from the day?
I didn't find the manta ray, but I found Ruthie.
Also, and we're thinking the same ones. There's cliff points all along like the southwestern part of the island. The 2 cliff points that we went to was the Banak Cliff Point and the Sari Cliff Point, and they're both along the southwest part of the island, and they are incredibly beautiful for watching sunset.
Birds are so ready for sunset.
Kind of like Suwehan Beach, the roads are pretty terrible to get there, so be aware of that. If you want, just hire a local to ride you up there on a motorbike. But once you're there, you're going to absolutely love it. On Sari Cliff Point, there's even a swing that you can swing on and take some really, really nice pictures before or as the as the sunset is happening. And it really is a perfect view to be able to overlook some of the other cliffs that are nearby, like the T-Rex Beach, and yeah, it just looks incredible. incredibly beautiful. The colors are pretty, and it's some of the most beautiful sunsets that we've ever seen in our whole lives.
The sunsets here are amazing. Obviously, as you know, Bali has some of the most beautiful sunsets in the entire world. So no matter where you are on the West Coast, you are guaranteed to see one of the most beautiful sunsets you will ever see in your lives. We're actually at this beach right now. Nobody's here, but the sunset's supposed to be beautiful. It's gonna set right on the horizon and reflect on the water. So we're just gonna hang out here and watch it as the sun sets.
This is probably the ugliest beach we've seen so far in Bali, but it's still more beautiful than New Jersey. So
right after we're done with sunset, we're gonna go get some dinner. Speaking of dinner, the food here is amazing. It's impossible not to be healthy here, but if you're looking for some unhealthy choices, you can definitely find them.
Nusa Penida is full of restaurants that serve both local and Western food, and Western food here is still pretty cheap, although the local food is the cheapest. Local food is pretty much fried rice or fried noodles. It's called nasi goreng, is the fried rice. I don't know how to say fried noodles, but that's probably, it'll usually cost you anywhere from like 20 to 40,000 rupiah, which is super cheap. And then a regular Western meal would probably cost you anywhere from like 50 up to like, I don't know, 100,000 rupiah. Again, still pretty cheap, but more expensive from the local meals, but the food is incredible. All of the main streets here in Nusa Penida are just lined and lined and lined with cafes, restaurants, really, really cool shacks that serve amazing food. We honestly don't think we've had a meal that we've hated.
Yeah.
So we could recommend you a million different places, but a lot of times we did end up going to the same spots because we just love them so much and we wanted to try everything they have on the menu.
We loved a ton of food that we ate here, but one of the things that we would recommend to you is stay away from the seafood if you can. We did get sick. I don't know from what. I think I had some bad shrimp and was puking my brains out the next day. Bali belly is a real thing, so just be careful. Regardless of where you go though, you'll have some incredible food and you will love it. Hey little pup.
Oh, I want to touch you, but I can't. Well, you have a collar, which means you probably can.
Bye.
One thing that we forgot to mention was the temple. There's this really awesome cave temple that's closer to the east side of the island. It's called Goa Putri Temple, which I'm 100% saying wrong, but once you park there, you have to rent or purchase a sarong. It's not okay to just wear pants or a long dress. You do have to get a sarong and rent from them, but it's super cheap. I think it's 5,000 each.
Yeah, it's 5,000 each to rent.
So then the ladies will wrap it. Oh.
Hey.
The ladies will wrap it around for you and tie it up. It looks beautiful. Then you hike up maybe like up to like 3 stories or something. And then you get up to the top, they put water on your face. And then you pay 20,000 to go into this cave. And it's incredible because the hole to be able to go into the cave is super tiny. And then once you go in, it's massive under there. It can probably hold 1,000 people and it goes on for like a really, really long time. I just had no idea like what to expect even. We just kind of went there by chance and we were so impressed. It was super cool, and they actually have electricity down there now. In the past, apparently they didn't, and you couldn't see how big it was, but now they have little lamps everywhere so that you can see how huge this place is.
There's a lot more that we could say about this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful island, and I'm sure we're missing a ton, but we loved every second here. It was such a relaxing vacation. We met some incredible people, and the locals are some of the warmest people that we've ever seen and met in our whole entire lives. We are for sure coming back here in the future, and we're so excited for what Bali has to offer. Next, we're going to Ubud.
See you in Ubud!
The mother is one of the diagnoses here, and then one day she got pregnant, and now we have 4 puppies.
Oh my god! Are you gonna keep them all, or are you trying to sell them?
They already have new puppies.
She's licking my feet. So cute.
Let them lick your foot.